4:30, we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Bailey.
Here.
Commissioner Bunting.
Here.
Commissioner Gay.
Here.
Commissioner Sefsey.
Here.
Commissioner Owens.
Here. Everybody's here. George, can we get you to pray for us?
Bow your heads, please. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the day that you've given to us. We continue prayers, Father, for our servicemen and women overseas and at home for their safety. We also have prayers for our first responders, Father, that you would keep them safe and well. We ask, Father, that you would bless the farmers, but thank you for the blessings of the farmers because they've looked like they've had a pretty successful planting season. Maybe a few crops out, but it looks like they're going to make it in no time at all. We just ask now that you be with us through the rest of this meeting. For us in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You join us for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
So you do want to add chemicals for the parks and waterways to J1.
Nothing else?
Move the agenda is presented. Support.
By George, supported by Tim, to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Public comment? No public comment. Okay. Consideration of the consent calendar.
The consent calendar.
Support.
Moved by George, supported by Steve to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carried. Administrators report.
All right. Since we last met, I spent a couple of days with the Michigan Association of County Administrators. And at that meeting, I introduced myself in one of the general sessions and told them my role here. Fortunately, I was familiar with a large part of the contingent there and notified them that my current position that I have will be open and be posted here sometime in the not too distant future, and encourage anybody that had interest to, chat with me about it. That I wouldn't say it was great interest, but I did have a little bit. And also had some discussions about, a financial officer for the county as well. So any event, I did my best to get the word out to people in the business. Beyond that, we met with the representative and agent from the Michigan Municipal Risk Management Association. Received the current status of outstanding issues. Discussed some coverage options, stop loss levels, retention funds, things of that sort. That'll be coming for renewal here. Also had a meeting with the MSU Extension Director for Clinton County, Bill Hendrian. I was familiar with him from my previous position, and he kind of explained the arrangement with the extension here and where their offices are currently located, and et cetera. I did have opportunity after that on Friday afternoon to a little tour. I've been slowly picking up county facilities. And went by that, didn't go inside. I don't think anyone was there, but at least I know where it's at now. And I visited the county landfill. That was an exciting trip, and I've had some discussions with Tony about some work that needs to get done out there, et cetera, et cetera. And I know we have some environmental monitoring going on. I thought that at least you'd know where it's at. Peeked inside of the old building there. I guess there's a couple old buildings, and walked up on the ridge, and I know they're talking about some slumping in areas and things. I just wanted to witness it for myself, what was going on, if there's any discussions in the future. But I guess more significantly, held an internal staff meeting with members of the administration office there. Had a nice chat about where we're at, what we need to get done. Subsequently, we, through with a guidance from Woodhill, kind of reviewed our payroll process. There is going to be some changes made to that as far as, we had a good review of the BS&A system, its capabilities. I think that was extremely helpful. It just was how some of the accounting for time and such was occurring. Discuss timesheets and who signs off on those, things of that nature. I think probably most importantly, there's going to be a system set up for review of those things before they're finalized and payments made. There's going to be some reports ran. Another member of the administration team will do that. We just need to get better at that. I think they understand it and people around the building understand it. But to that end, later this week, I'm gonna have a meeting with, the department heads, elected officials, at least I'll invite them. And I think we need to move back to a Thursday payday. It currently is Wednesday. With the close of time on being Saturday, getting time reports here, to get done what needs to be done, have an opportunity to run those reports and have that secondary review of the payroll. Had good discussion with the Woodhill representatives, and they said that's just putting way too much pressure, and we need to just take a step back. Previously, it was Thursday, and I understand for some reason, I don't understand that they moved it to Wednesday. It was moved a year or two ago. That doesn't matter. It needs to be on Thursday, and I'm gonna let everybody know Friday and then just send out a general notice. We didn't do it this pay period because I don't know where people are with finances and such. Didn't want to just do it as a surprise, but the next cycle, that's what's gonna happen. So we made some progress there, and also Woodhill spent a lot of time. We've been having some issues with deposits and bond releases and things in district court, and had a good discussion there, and I think clarified some things. So, that we haven't been through that cycle yet, but I think there's been some clarification of roles and how that's going to work. So hopefully that'll pay some dividends for us here in the near future. And that would conclude my report.
Thank you.
Steve, what do you got to report?
George and I went to the health department meeting last Wednesday. Actually a fairly short meeting for health department meetings. There was some talk about ticks. You're seeing it on the news. It's a big deal. They're continuing with updating all the buildings. Ithaca or Gratiot County was the first one to get updated for their Wi-Fi capabilities throughout their buildings. And they're updating some of the audiovisual equipment within the buildings so that they're better equipped to be able to utilize the Wi-Fi when it gets there. And a lot of that stuff's all on grants they get for it anyhow. So that financially, they're kind of right on track with where they are every year. And they're all doing well. I think they're fully staffed. Everybody's fully staffed, or at least.
Yeah, they're fully staffed.
Yeah,
They did pay
good there.
$275,000 on the retirement.
Yep.
Authorized that.
Yep. So, yeah, they're doing well. What was the thing that everybody was laughing about that they paid for? Oh, the ice cube maker.
Yeah.
Their ice cube maker. That was
That was in Montcalm.
That was the big question. Like,
That was a big, good discussion.
yep, that was the big topic of discussion.
Well, the board chair
It just-
actually paid for it.
Yeah, it was just we were just something to laugh about at the meeting. That's a good group.
I have a question for you.
What's that?
Talk about the ticks. They talk about the white ones and the black ones. And is it just in the forest or is it like in everybody's yard?
Everywhere. Now, this year, they're one of the worst years. I mean, obviously, people are much more aware and they're doing a better job of reporting. They just had a thing on the news. It's 163% rise in it, but a lot of it's just.
Had to do with climate this winter.
Yep. We had
had some below freezing days, but overall, it wasn't that cold.
Ticks in general are everywhere now.
So
They're in
what-
people's yards or,
Yeah, how do you,
Not just-
a tick on you? How do you know this?
well, they recommend that you tuck your pant legs into your boots. If you're out walking in tall grass, you wear light colors so you can obviously see them. Shower shortly after you come into your, out from outside. And then have somebody visually inspect to see if you have any ticks on you.
Check your clothing.
Yeah.
So how would you know, like, I live alone, so how would I know if I've been bit by a tick?
Generally, you'll feel them crawling.
Feel them crawling on you first.
There'll be a little tickle.
Yeah, you'll feel them moving on you. I've had two of them this year on me.
That one.
Yep. My brother had 6 yesterday. He was out doing some stuff in his, around his pole barn. He had 6 of them. He lives just a mile into Clinton County out of Gratiot.
Different, yeah,
He's just like, it's.
they're just,
Like I've had 6 in a year, but not 6 of them.
I've never seen it this bad.
Yeah.
So what, I guess the bottom question is, so say you did get bit by a tick,
You definitely want to seek medical treatment because the earlier they detect it and they can try and remove the head of the tick, hopefully you won't end up with.
You can't just pull them out. They won't, you break them. The head will stay in there and they'll still get sick.
like if it was on you, you would see it and feel it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like a mosquito.
Yep.
Okay.
Just go to urgent care or something, they'll take it out for
If
you.
they're on you, just crawling around, you don't have to go to the doctor. It's if it bores itself into you.
Or into your neck or.
But there would be a hard shell on the top.
Oh, yeah. And
I think this
yeah,
is-
you aren't just gonna kill them by this. You gotta like take something very
Crunch.
to crush them.
Yeah, you gotta,
Yeah, they,
Yeah. Well, the reason I'm saying this is that we are on TV and there's a lot of people that do not know about this.
absolutely.
And I'm real concerned because I'm
Mhm.
always out in the yard or,
Well,
Walking.
you don't want to get Lyme disease. It's nasty. And there's people who, it's nasty stuff. So.
okay. And I don't have any report. I didn't have any meetings.
Nope, all mine were earlier in the month.
I don't have anything. Also, my meetings are next week. I did get all the Angie's books distributed.
Birch,
the only meeting I had was the health department meeting. We did have an airport meeting, but we've already had our authority meeting. And also the meeting that was, set for, Breckenridge's 4th Monday of the month was set back. And actually had it on Tuesday, the 20th, which was our meeting. So they were having their meeting while we were having our meeting. So I didn't make it. That was it. Everything's good though. I did check in with them, so everything's good.
okay,
Just an announcement. It's Monday from 5 to 6. There will be, or 5 to 7, I'm sorry, 5 to 7 at Hamilton Township. They're gonna have a little open house get together, because of their new building. We all set to go, so
When was that again?
the 9th,
The 9th?
yeah, from
From what?
5 to 6, I believe.
5 to
5 to 7, I'm sorry, 5
To 7 at Hamilton.
5 to 7. Yep, they've really done a nice job. For what they spent on that building, they really got their money's worth. They did a good job, so.
Good.
Nice.
okay, that does it with the committee reports. New business, bike path repair.
Oh. John can't be here tonight. I know he talked with Ryan as well. There it is. Anyhow, the bike path, several years ago, when they were redoing 127, MDOT created the bike path that goes from Ithaca to Alma on the east side of the expressway. After it was completed, it was gifted, I guess, to the Gratiot County Parks. And are starting to realize the expense of keeping that up now. So anyhow, if you have been out on the bike path, there are spots that the closer you get to you get north of Van Buren, between Van Buren and Lincoln, there's a pretty good section in there where it goes down and it's next to a wooded area. Well, when they did this, nobody severed any of the tree roots. They just
poured the asphalt over the top of them. And it's caused some, pretty large speed bumps, shall we call them, in the trail. So anyhow, there's a few different ways to get rid of them. And that's what these quotes are, and you'll notice some of them are a little less money. One of them was to use infrared heaters and heat this 30 by 10 section, and but that doesn't really remove the roots that go underneath it. And then there's the one that they are recommending that we go with the Great Lakes asphalt, where they're gonna repair the area and actually dig down and get rid of the tree roots, this is gonna be an ongoing problem with this thing all the way along there. It's probably something they're gonna have to address by going along the edge of it with some form of, the DNR has some things that they've done along some of their trails in order to alleviate this. It may be something that they have to look at in the future to try and alleviate this becoming a bigger and bigger problem. That's going to be very expensive if it's going to spend money one way or the other. So if we don't want to completely redo the trail, we're going to have to do this. So anyhow, their recommendation is that we go with the Great Lakes.
There was no one in Gratiot County that could have done
Let's see, Great Lakes is from DeWitt. Fox,
Like our,
Steel Coating is out of Shepherd. They put it out for bid, and these are the people that got contact with them.
okay.
So, anyhow, their recommendation, Ryan, do you have anything you wanted to add to it?
Well, I guess one that it's gonna need to be seal coated.
Yes.
Probably next year.
Yep.
And I encourage them, as I did have Tony, when we have these asphalt issues.
Mhm.
I'm not sure the relationship with the County Road Commission, but if you need advice, direction.
Actually, the road commission is looking into whether they can get the emulsion to do the seal coating
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, I guess those are
It's
the.
different than the stuff they use for the chip seal. Actually, during the meeting, I was texting with Mark Kraft about that very issue, and he's checking into to see if they could possibly do it and do it with their equipment out there.
Yeah, I was encouraging him to have good contact with them, and
Yep.
whether it's a parking lot the county has, rail trail or whatever it is.
The same thing when they reseal like Reed's, Upshire in the future,
Yeah,
looking to the road commission to see if they
we,
have all the equipment and if they can do it.
makes good sense.
Yeah,
They buy bulk and,
yeah.
yeah, that's how, we had a good relationship with the road commission in Clinton, and
Yep.
they used grade lots. And
Yep.
when we did parking lot changes, and they would, send some solution out, and I mean, it's a small part of what they.
Absolutely.
That saved a lot of time and energy and
Mhm.
good competitive pricing, because
Yep,
people are buying those contracts.
absolutely.
Anyways, that's all I comment.
Yep. So, they just want to get this work done so that we can hopefully preserve the path and not have any, problems, but it's going to be something they're going to have to address as we keep going along with this. So the Parks and Recreation Board recommends going with the Great Lakes asphalt and request the budget change of $8,850 to repair the bike path. So I'd like to make a motion that we,
Okay, I'll second that.
And the budget change,
yeah,
budget amendment?
have the budget.
Okay,
We probably should do a roll call on that because it's changing the budget, right?
yeah, I mean,
Okay. Moved and seconded that we spend 88.50 for repair to the bike path. Roll call vote.
Angie, I cut you off there.
Sorry.
Okay, this one time.
Okay.
You get flogged the next time.
Commissioner Bailey,
Yes.
Commissioner Bunting,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
Yes.
Commissioner Owens.
Yes. Okay.
And then J1 is the, also Parks and Rec. It's one that we, amended the agenda. Every year, they have a contract with a company to come in and treat for the algae blooms that occur in these, they're both glorified gravel pits. So it happens. And they'd like to get it so they don't have to get board approval. I don't recall if when this was originally approved, if it was meant to be that way, that they can just do this every year. It's an ongoing expense. So I think,
It's just a recurring expense.
so I think we're
Normal cost.
looking for is that we can get this treatment done without having to come to the board each time when it needs to be done. So
As long as they budget it, it's in the budget.
I move that we allow the Parks and Recreation Board to go forward with getting the ponds treated when needed on an annual basis.
Second that.
Moved by Steve, supported by Jan to approve the parks to treat the water as needed without coming back to the board. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. I just have one comment on that bike path.
Mhm.
Nick Allen, the former representative and senator, give $1,000. And I have never seen anybody get more credit for a donation than he did. It was in the paper numerous times.
That's all right. He's gone.
Yep. Yeah, God rest his soul. Okay. Monica. We get you to go over here.
Over here. Sorry, I didn't pay attention.
George doesn't bite. He might growl, but he doesn't bite.
Well, you know, I've faced those down before. I think I can handle it. So good afternoon. My name is Monica Fryer. I am the interim executive director at Region 7 Area Agency on Aging. And before I get into this deep, I just want to recognize that our board member Corey and our advisory council member Diane are both here today as well to support me. And I will say that as counties go, they advocate every chance they get for your seniors and your vulnerable adults, and I just thank them for being here. So, and as I start talking, I try not to use too many acronyms. However, saying Area Agency on Aging over and over takes up a lot of time. So I often refer to that as a AAA. So just so you're aware. So a few things, we like to come out once a year, give you some information on the AAA and on your county. So 50 years ago, the concept of an area agency on aging was born from the Older Americans Act. And there are now approximately 600 AAAs across the entire United States. And Region 7, along with 15 others, make up all of the service areas in the whole state of Michigan, including the UP. Region 7's planning service area is comprised of 10 counties. That includes Bay, Saginaw, Midland, Isabella, Clare, Gratiot, Gladwin, Tuscola, Sanilac, and Huron. So we cover we have one of the largest areas of all the AAAs in the state. And we provide funding to supplement county millages and partner with local organizations, like your Department on Aging or Commission on Aging, to make numerous programs available to your elderly and disabled adults in your communities. AAAs are able to provide administrative and operational functions at a cost of approximately 5%. And that's versus the state level of administration, that's around 15%. So you get more bang for your buck with us. AAAs also have the benefit of we're the boots on the ground. I have staff on the road every single day in all 10 counties. So on any given day, they are touching somebody in your county. They're meeting with them, they're assessing them, getting them the services that they need to stay in their communities. Region 7 AAA offers a comprehensive agency-wide brochure that provides a snapshot of all the services that we provide in your county. And that blue folder I gave you, I call that your toolkit. And yes, I'm giving you a job or homework, you might say. There are all kinds of pieces of literature regarding our agency in various formats. I mean, there's even right down to a little business card you can carry in your purse or your wallet. And every piece of information in there has our phone number on it and how to get a hold of us. So here's all you have to do. If you know someone who's in need of any type of services, give them a piece of information for us. You don't have to tell them about us, just tell them to call us. I have people waiting to answer the phone who can help get them to the right people. Even if they don't qualify for services we actually provide, they know how to get them the right resources to get where they need to go. In fact, in the last few months, we have employed 4 new person-centered option counselors that are designed to help people that need help in the community. And they don't just take their phone call and pass them off to someone else. They actually take care of them for a period of time and make sure they get those services. They follow up and make sure the phone calls get made and the right people get connected. So they are live as of this week and they're waiting for those phone calls. So lots that we can do for people in your community. We also offer programs such as the My Choice Medicaid Waiver Program and the Care Management Program to offer services to assist adults that need to remain in their homes and want to remain independently in their homes. Other services include transportation, adult daycare, caregiver training, case coordination and support, the ever important home delivered and congregate meals. I know nutrition is one of the biggest topics of conversation all the time. So what does this all mean for Gratiot County? I mentioned millages and I started talking. Gratiot County in fiscal year 2024 paid Region 7 $2,394 in dues. What you received in return for those dues, just over $288,000 coming into your community for these services. And in your folder, there's a sheet like this that actually details out all the services that you received through Region 7 and the amounts that we paid. Now, these are supplements to your millage that already pay for some of it. And if you look under the home delivered meals, over $93,000 came to your county from us for home delivered meals to supplement your millage. If you look at waiver services, we serve 60 people in your communities. Those 60 people, that is a Medicaid program. So that's not part of that money we sent to you, but it's still coming to your community because those people are staying in their homes with our home and community-based services. That could be a caregiver, transportation, an emergency button, things like that. They all qualify for nursing home placement. So that means that if we aren't helping them, it's likely they will end up in a nursing home. Now, 60 of them, and there's more now because that program is growing rapidly, that want to stay in their communities. And if those services were removed, they would have to most likely go to a nursing home. I don't believe you have 60 nursing home beds available in your county. Most don't. So then that would present a whole other list of things that would affect them adversely. Why do I say all of this? Because we are out advocating. We are advocating at the state level and the federal level for them not to make those Medicaid cuts that you're hearing about. We're making good progress. We're getting good reports back that they are listening to us. So far, they have not looked at cutting back on the home and community-based services. I can't say what they're going to do, but we're doing everything we can to advocate, and that's what we need you all to do as well. If you have a chance to talk to lawmakers, keep reminding them how important both the Older Americans Act funds are to your county and how important Medicaid is. And I did get word back, because there's always a worry about, are we getting our funding? Region 7 is getting our funding. And on May 20th, for the Older Americans Act, we did get all of our funding through the end of September. So this year is shored up, but we just have to be working ahead on what next year looks like. I did also get word, because on the Older Americans Act side, they had talked about at the federal level, breaking that apart and sending it to several different agencies, which could be very detrimental to the funding as well. And they have come back and said they're not going to do that. They're going to keep it all within the Administration for Children, Families, and Communities, which is a very good thing for us to help with collaboration. So that's really what I had for you. Do you have any questions for me or anything I can help you with?
Can't think of it right off.
Do you still, you work out of Ithaca?
I work in Bay City. Well, our main office is in Bay City. Yeah, but I mean, we're in all of your county or in Gratiot County too.
Do they still have, you work for
Meals on
the
Wheels.
volunteer for the meals?
Well, so
They still have that?
Oh, absolutely.
That was,
Yes.
it's the mainstay.
They can't cut that.
that was the 93,000 extra dollars we got.
You didn't have that.
That's the home delivered, yeah, also congregate on there as well.
I just want to thank you because, thank you for keeping those 60 people and growing.
Yes.
Able to stay in our community and in their homes. I think it's wonderful that we can provide these kind of services, and without your agency, we wouldn't be able to. I mean, it's pretty impressive when you look at these numbers. I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, when you do the Gratiot County totals, the $1.4 million, that's huge.
Yes.
I mean, that is a really significant number, that, you know, your legislation you do all the work. We get the benefits, you know what I mean? Or our citizens get the benefits, and that's, I just want to say thank you to your board members. Thank you for coming. I mean, it means a lot to have you guys here and represent us and, but I mean, keep up the great work. And,
Keep in mind, we do it together. It's all of us together.
I understand, but you
We-
guys do this, that's a wonderful thing that we're doing for,
We appreciate that and we love what we do. So
obvious, you're very passionate about it. I like that, so.
yeah, we will keep doing that. And also on those folders, you have our office number. If I can ever answer a question for you. If you have someone and you want to hand them off directly to me, I will take your call anytime. So you just call and you ask for me.
I do have a question. How do you keep Corey so calm? This is like the calmest I've ever seen in my life. Just
Really, your side of her, I don't know.
telling you, when you hear her voice bark at you in the dark of the night and
Never dealt in
Michigan.
the school system that.
Yeah, when you hear Corey bark out your name in the dark of the night when you're in Leslie, Michigan, you're.
Aw, no, I appreciate Corey and she's always.
It was wonderful to see a familiar face that day because we were dealing with something horrible and it was really nice. It was a horrible situation. It was really nice to say, oh my gosh, something good.
Put it this way, I always appreciate her in my corner and in the corner of Region 7 because it's a very important job that our board members and advisory council members have.
We
And
kind of are a corner here, aren't we? When I look at your list of counties, we are a corner. No?
oh, I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for
You.
you. In material management plan, Sheila.
More recycling. So since the last time that we were here, we've officially seated our committee, which is really exciting because that was the next big step for us. The next thing for us is that each 8 counties needs to pass a projected expenditures. So on the second page of the memo, I just want you to take a look at this. So this formatting was set up by the state of Michigan. Each of the 8 counties, well, each of the 83 counties that are participating are going to need to pass one of these through their CAA. So if you look at the projected amount, $91,000 seems like a huge number. Where that number came from, that is our $70,000, it's our $60,000 for participating, our $10,000 for participating in a regional group, and our per diem. So our goal, what we are asking the state for today is to set aside $91,000 of our pot of money to be able to be reimbursable for our first year. On the second column over, you're going to see the actual amount. So this, like I said, this formatting did come from the state. So for travel time, mileage, and meals, that is us calculating how much time we've put into these things already. So if today I asked for a reimbursement, this is the amount that I would be asking for reimbursement for. That $5,132.32, because those are the funds that the county has already paid for the materials management plan. Now, as you know, when we started talking about this, we thought this $91,000 was just going to be given to us up front. It's not. It's now a reimbursable grant. So I am spending absolutely as little as possible out of this because it's not budgeted for right now. So I don't want to go spend $91,000 because we don't know. Well, the state says that it's going to be reimbursable. The way that things are up in the air, we just don't know. So we really, at this time, are really trying to keep this to a minimum. But with the knowledge that whatever of that $91,000 we do not use in this year, it will be available in the next year. So we will still be able to access those funds. So we are requesting at this time from the state, the full $91,000 to be reimbursed for that first year. And this does need to get passed by each of the 8 boards so that we can send it to the state to get our work plan approved. Once that work plan is approved, in about 6 months, we might be able to start requesting these funds back. So this is just one step in that process to start seeing the dollars for this program.
Let me make sure I got this right. So what you're asking us to do is to approve to send a bill to the Lansing for 91,000.
No,
No?
I am asking that they set aside our $91,000 for when we use those funds. We are not billing for anything at this point. This is just a guesstimate of expenditures, but this is the maximum because that's what we know is going to be coming in.
So far, you've not received any money though, am I right?
Correct. We have not even gotten our work plan approved to be able to start doing that.
So each county then similar to ours as far as,
Yes, their numbers are going to be a little different because of that per capita,
yeah.
but yeah.
So there's, what, how many counties did you say we had? 8
We
counties.
have 8.
So 8 counties and they're all gonna, every county needs to approve this so that everyone can get on the list so that they can be reimbursed.
So yes.
Yeah, okay.
What happens if you're not reimbursed?
Well, then this would be an unfunded mandate.
That wouldn't go.
And so that would be a conversation that the commissioners would have to have about whether you choose to move forward.
That's my biggest concern with this whole thing is you've put a lot of hours into this thing. You've traveled all over. I mean, granted, I think you're light on your projection of what, if you truly took time away from what you're doing here as the deputy administrator and equated it out in, the portion of your work you've been doing towards this thing, we're very light on this thing, but I understand what you have listed here, is a guesstimate for you. I just don't see this thing going forward if the state ends up pulling the blanket out from underneath this thing as far as.
If they pull the funding, they cannot obligate us to do it.
Yeah, I'm like that. And these other 8 counties, I mean, financially, the people on that list, I mean, some of them, I mean, I'm not saying that we're, flush with cash here. We're keeping our head above water. Some of these places, I can't say that. I mean,
It's not-
most of these 8 counties.
I mean, it's going to be the 83 that are.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but I'm just saying our group is who we're really the most concerned with. So, I hope, if the state really, I mean, I support.
Have you guys actually discussed, we're gonna go along with this so far, but we're gonna draw a line in the sand? And we're not gonna do anything?
Yes, the $10,000 that we asked for in advance, that was this we were indicated by the state to do that, to let them prove in good faith that these
They're
funds
actually-
are going to be
They're
available.
actually gonna do it, yeah.
So yes, when I say
So
we are,
received
we are
that
committed,
10,000.
no, we.
Yeah, we've got it.
There's my point.
Yes.
How far are we gonna continue down the road
That,
before no
well,
more?
at this point, we have signed a notice of intent, so we have to continue.
Yeah.
We have committed to the state, but we are minimizing what's going into
Trying
this.
to minimize.
Yes, because all that's actually been spent out of the actual
Yeah.
account is $795 for mileage, and we paid for the Zoom, which was $160.
So that's,
So other than that, these are more like indirect costs.
I would just, I'm sorry.
I was hoping maybe there was somebody, like,
The state of Michigan's famous for
Oh, yeah.
this type of behavior. I mean, this isn't any surprise to me. It's all, every grant they do is reimbursable. I mean, they don't trust us, we just trust them. I mean, I'm serious about
I know.
it. That's, we're the county governments are the kicking dog of the
Mhm.
operation. We do what they tell us and they'll pay us when they get ready. But then what I would suggest though is, as soon as the plan's approved and it's there, seek a reimbursement. I'm fairly confident that it'll happen. I mean, all the grants we have, the specialty courts, they're all reimbursable grants, et cetera.
a lot of people have done a lot of work, but not go over well.
This will never, ever
I'm
get,
saying it's a state.
Yeah.
You can have your state
it
representative.
will never get the House and, because this has all been passed by them to.
You got 86 counties that are gonna be three ups.
And
Yeah,
it part us
really.
when it passed.
You know, I wanted to let you know too, I called up to Isabel County, I know the chair up there. And I had a talk with him today, and I asked him how he felt about it. And he did tell me, he said, it was, the bottom line is, he goes, I don't think they're ever gonna go through with this. He said, it's been going on for too long. And he said, we don't have any money, and there's several counties that do not have any money that can put money into this. And so he said, and then also they contacted our state representative, Pat Houtman. And they said that he was checking on it, but he has not been able to find anything on it either.
Yeah.
And so this is not a good sign. You know, I mean, it's.
Well,
But if it doesn't get passed,
we're obligated to go forward at this point. So,
Right.
I mean, I think we've entered into this agreement, we've made what was it, good faith, the
the notice of intent.
Yeah.
notice of intent to the state, so I think we have to keep going down this path, but if you can keep keeping us updated on this, which you've done,
Well,
I think we just need to keep an eye on it because.
I'm the chair now, so
I know you are.
I
I just think we need to keep an eye on it because if this is one of the unfunded things that the state ends up trying to sneak in, I just can't see this group of 8 counties doesn't, we are putting the bill for the whole thing.
honestly, I asked DJ from Eagle, because he's at the monthly meetings. I said, can we pull our notice of intent?
Mhm.
Because when we submitted our notice of intent, we were saying, we are going to do this. And so he is really saying, wait until we find out about that $10,000, because if they are in good faith giving us some funding and showing us that they're committed, then why would we pull out? But if they're not willing to, we can, and we can just say, okay, state, do our plan. Because those were our two options. We chose to do it in-house so that we could really make it work for our people. But we do have the ability to pull out and say, hey, nope, go ahead and write it for us, state.
Sheila, I want to say that I think you've done a wonderful job on this. I came to watch you see what was going on, the meeting I went to. I thought that everybody, I mean, they had all 8 counties there. But I think it's sad to put a lot of energy into this and have it fail. And that's the other issue.
Made me really sad too, because I think that.
positive. I'm gonna think positive.
Issue is that
Working out, and I'll make a motion that we would approve the,
Projected expenditures.
what do you call it?
Restricted expenditures.
Yes.
I'm not done. Just a minute, George. One of the things I was going to tell you, now I forgot what it was. No, when I talked to Fred, he told me, he said, the problem is a lot of us do not have any money at all. So it's not like they can stick some money in there and wait until they get their money. This is another big problem. And one of the questions that I asked him, I said, first of all, both your waste management and Granger Waste Management both of them have already got a, sent in their contract or how they're going to do all of this. And I don't understand if everybody goes underneath one of the, well, actually, there's three companies. And
I'm sorry, that's not,
all the companies that are out there already have already sent something in, what their intent is and how they're going to take care of this. And what I don't understand is, one is Granger and one is Waste Management, and there's a third one, and I'm not familiar with it. But and then I'm sure there's others in the whole state of Michigan. And it just seems to me, if they take and they contract with everybody in the state of Michigan, somehow each township, city, whatever, and they have a contract already of how they're going to do this, it seems like it should go through, because basically, wasn't it, Mrs. Whitmore's, or Governor Whitmore's, issue was that they wanted everybody to do, the sorting of the garbage, or what do you call it?
Recycling.
Recycling, yeah, they wanted everybody to recycle. Most people that live in the country, if they have food left over from the table, or they're looking over their produce, they throw that out in their garden. And, the rest of the stuff goes to the garbage, to be picked
A
up.
lot of solid waste though, a lot of solid. waste.
so the MMP, the goal is to increase access to recycling. It is not telling anybody who they have to use for a hauler. It is just creating additional opportunities. As far as the haulers go, Granger, Waste Management, GFL, they are at the table with us to help make sure that our plan is correct. So they are not submitting a plan. They are sitting at the table with us as we make our plan.
Okay, let me go a little further. You have Gratiot County. And I know from Wheeler all the way to Pine River, and also, I mean, that's St. Louis, that's Bethany Township, that's Ithaca. They're already got a 10-year contract. They're all set.
Doesn't make any difference.
Anybody that you're gonna pick up from here, it seems to me that they could go ahead and contract with either Waste Management or Granger, because they're already in, they've got the biggest population of all of Gratiot County.
Right, but like Ithaca does not have recycling in their contract. So this MMP,
Are they the only ones?
I can't speak to that. I'm
Pine River in St. Louis, Bethany, Wheeler Township, and Breckenridge there, and I thought Alma was too. I'll ask them when we go to the next meeting, but I'm sure they are, because they have 2 dumpsters out.
But this
Things
gives
out, I
a
mean.
person that lives in Ithaca that would like to recycle an additional opportunity to do so, because they cannot with their current Granger plan. So this is creating opportunities for people to recycle. It is not telling anybody they have to. It's just creating opportunities.
Okay, I thought when this first started, they had to do it.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the projected expenditures for the Gratiot County's work plan.
Does it need to be
What does
stated?
this mean, that you're going to get money, or you want money, or what does that mean?
This just means that we are submitting this in our work plan.
Yeah, we're just taking the next step. All this is they need all 8 of these counties to take this next step.
This needs to get copied and pasted into our work plan so it can get sent to Eagle.
Okay, well, I wish you the best on this, you've done a lot of work.
The projected expenditures? Does it need to read asking the state to set aside 91 to be paid by the grant?
No, just approving the projected expenditures.
Support on that.
By George, supported by Steve, to approve the Gratiot County's work plan as presented. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Indigent defense.
I can speak to this real quick if you like. That was filed, the state, we were noticed that it wasn't acceptable. And so as a result, the resolution was amended. There's some budget numbers here. We should take care of it. It's really a formality. That's the problem with these grants sometimes, that the detail that they want and the lack of trust that's there. So anyways, we've been made whole by the state, so now we're telling them that we've made whole, and that'll allow the deficit elimination plan to be approved by the state.
Basically, this is us letting them know how much they were
Yeah,
read.
right.
So now they
They
can.
paid us. Now we gotta tell them that we got it. So it's a
Okay.
different division, basically. And they'll-
I so move that we adopt resolution 25334 for the Indigent Defense Fund Deficit Elimination Plan. You need the amount? Or just the, since it's a resolution?
May move that, I will.
I'm,
Steve moves, supported by George.
Missed it. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
I already did that.
to approve a resolution requesting a deficit elimination plan. Do a roll call on this.
Commissioner Bunting,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes.
Commissioner Sapsy,
yes.
Commissioner Bailey,
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Commissioner
Yes.
Bailey, Commissioner Quinn,
You said Commissioner Gay and I.
Yes.
Turn my hearing aid off. That's like you seconded it, George. Let's drink some more water.
Okay, is there any more unfinished business? How about additional public comment? We have a closed session?
Yeah.
Marty, you got anything for us?
Marty?
Well, you weren't here, but, you guys all know we had a fatal fire in the county yesterday morning.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there was,
Otherwise, it
2 deaths at this point. Do we know the status of the others yet?
He kicked it out of here.
The young lady's still in divorce. Yeah, pretty intense.
Yeah, she's critical condition. Royce Road, North Royce Road.
That is actually the niece and brother-in-law to one of our staff.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay. I had kind of heard about it through the grapevine and then, cause somebody had asked me, is there a big event? I'm like, I have no idea.
Is there a lot of fires this year? Seems like I heard the fire department going on.
So between, I think it was between Van Buren and,
Almost 5,000.
almost 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to trap, like 1:30 in the morning, the deputies got the call. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a bad deal, but I didn't realize that they were relatives of someone who works here, but everybody made it to the hospital and then they've lost 2 since then, right? The gentleman died first, and the child died at DeVos. The 2-year-old died at DeVos, so and it's 4 or 5, that's the year-old that's at it's still at DeVos.
I'm not sure, it's right in that age.
It's 9?
9-year-old.
Oh, it's 9. Okay, I didn't realize they're that much older. Yeah. They're all still hospitalized? They're all.
I know those. And 2.
Okay.
Were got out before there was a ventilation or.
Okay.
What kind of fires?
House fire?
Yeah, they were sleeping 1 o'clock in the morning. So
Do they know what was started or what started?
It's still.
just
I'm speed investigation. That's just a best.
Yeah, that's sad.
Very, very sad. Those are never,
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and go into closed session for strategy and negotiations.
support. Thank you all for coming.
Yep.